She did a double take. Women, not men. Without stopping to think over much, one of her major faults according to Matthew, she rushed for the trees. One of the women squeaked, the other tried to run, slipped and fell. "Sit," Alex said, waving her knife at them. They complied, huddling together under the oak. They looked bedraggled, caps askew, one with tears in her apron, both quite dirty. Escaped bondservants, Alex guessed, and she recognized the monogram on one of the aprons. "You've run away," she said. "Please, mistress, please don't tell." The eldest, or at least the biggest of the girls, placed a protective arm around her companion, a thin little thing with tendrils of red hair peeking from under her dirty cap. Alex was no major fan of indentured servants, but her Leslie neighbours had paid good money for these two, and would be pissed off if they weren't returned. "He hit us," the girl continued. "Belted us, he did." "He did? For what?" The younger girl hunched over, dark eyes never leaving Alex. "We stole." "Stole?" The other girl sniffed. "I didn't steal. I took payment." "Payment?" Alex echoed. The girl gave her a condescending look. "He helped himself." "Ah." Alex was somewhat taken aback. She'd never have taken Peter Leslie for the lecherous type. "And now you're planning to do what?" "Walk," the girl shrugged, sounding confident. Her red-haired friend nodded. "To Providence?" Alex shook her head. That was well over a week's walk, and the two girls seemed to have no sense of direction as they'd walked north from the Leslie settlement rather than south. "No, to St. Mary's City," the younger girl said. "Good luck to them. That was almost twice as far." "You're Catholic," Alex said. "No other reason to go that far unless they'd done more than steal." The elder girl glared at her. "And what if we are?" "I couldn't care less," Alex told her with a little smile. "But it's a very long walk. That way." She pointed south. "How are you going to survive, all on your own?" "I have a knife." "Whoopee," Alex muttered. She should send them straight back to the Leslies, but she already knew she wouldn't. Matthew wouldn't like it, but on the other hand, why tell him? She gnawed her lip. "I'll see what I can find. You'll need food and a blanket or two." The youngest girl burst into tears and clutched at Alex's skirts. Yes, Alex said, rather embarrassed by all this. She gestured into the deeper forest to their right. "Hide in there somewhere. You'll have to stay put until you hear me whistle for you." She shooed them off, admonishing them to keep well out of sight, and set off up the incline. She was almost back at the house when her three youngest children ambushed her. "Oh," Alex said, when Sarah barreled into her. Her daughter grabbed at Alex's legs and rubbed her head against Alex's skirts, dislodging what little remained of her night braid. The fair hair fell in soft waves around Sarah's face, making her look like a sweet angel, which she definitely was not. "Where have you been?" Matthew said from behind her. "I went for a swim." "A swim?" Sarah's reproachful blue eyes stared up at her. "Without us?" "Aye, why didn't you say?" Ruth asked. "Because I wanted to go alone," Alex thought, smiling at her little redhead. Ruth smiled back, the hazel eyes she shared with her father and most of her siblings shifting into a light greyish green. "We can go later," Alex said. "I probably need to give all three of you a proper scrub." "Not me," Daniel muttered, shoving his dark hair off his brow. "I'm clean, very clean." Alex looked at the trio. 3 children in 3 years, but since then Matthew and she had been very careful, even if at times both of them were left extremely frustrated by this. Her eyes slid over to rest on her man. Alex fluffed at her hair, catching Matthew's interested look. As far as she was concerned, 5 children, 6 counting Ian, her stepson, were quite enough. But she wasn't sure Matthew agreed. What the hell? She wanted to have wild and uninhibited sex with him, and damn the consequences. She saw his mouth curve and felt the blood rush up her cheeks, making him smile even wider. "Right, you," she said to her children. "You all have chores to do." Daniel made a face, but at Matthew's nod he and Ruth hurried off. Sarah loitered, throwing Alex a hopeful look. You wish, Alex thought, handing her